I saw daylight in you.
So you gonna be a big country star, like Roger Miller?
Huh?
I don't want to be a star. I want to be a legend.
Well, what's the difference, Deputy?
Well, stars burn out because they shine for themselves. Look at me shine, look at me glow. I'm amazing. Legend lasts forever.
This movie, it's really great for anyone who isn't familiar with Blaze Foley. It does a good job of showing important moments in his life that everyone can relate to. What do you hope audiences remember the most after watching this movie about Blaze?
Well, there's a lot of Blaze Foleys in the world. There's a lot of people who have a lot to say, and there's a lot of people who don't get a chance to say it. And Blaze was somebody who kind of torpedoed his own fleet, if you will. You know, he burned his own bridges. But he was really touched, and he had a wonderful vision, and he honed his songwriting tool really, really sharp. So I want people to, recognize in themselves if there's things in them that they would like to present to the world or say to the world, and if there's things that they see that are unjust or things that they see that I have a friend who's suffering in some way. Blaze had a lot of people around him that took care of him, but he pushed everyone away toward the end, But also creativity is important for human beings, and nurturing that is something that I want people to remember.
So if they were going to make a movie about your life, what key moments or time period would you want on screen for audiences to see and maybe hopefully connect with?
I like that question. Early in my life, I spent a lot of time with my mother's father. His name is Robert Ganaway, and he was a fisherman. And I spent a lot of quiet hours with him on boats, cane fishing, just not very extravagant casting kind of fish, just cane fishing. And we would have talks. And those talks were bigger than what they seemed to be at the time. And I think that quiet moments with people who have been on Earth longer than you offer sagely moments. And in my life, as I've gotten older, and I have nephews in my life, and I have young people, friends of mine who have kids, it's fascinating to have opportunities to share such moments, So I'm an artist, and I've always tried to be so. But I think that if you made a movie about my life, you'd learn a lot from the early parts.
Yeah. So the movie also shows how much music kind of consumed Blaze, so much so that he lost his family, lost everything, really. As a musician yourself, how would you say it's best to balance, music with the people you care about?
Well, the people you care about have to care about you. It's hard, when I was younger, I did have an attitude of it's a jump with no parachute business. And if you can write the kind of songs that people want to hear, you'll kind of grow wings as you fall. But it's not like that. You don't have to jump. It's a challenge. Music's hard. It's hard to make a living, being an artist, period. But there's a lot of pitfalls. And when I was younger, I was never properly homeless, but there were periods of time where I didn't have a home. There's periods of time where I slept in my car, but I always had my guitar. So I always sort of felt like, music for me started out as a life raft of sorts. And as I got better and understood it more, it kind of grew into a houseboat and kind of turned into an island. So you have to be careful, and you have to reach out to people, but it's a language, music. And the people that play music can speak it with other people who play music all over the world. It's magic, and it can make you feel things, it can make you remember things, it can make you dance when you didn't know you wanna.
Yeah. Well, and finally, just tell us, why should people come out and see this film?
Well, if you love music and you love people who play it, and you've asked yourself ever, where does a song come from? That's one of the questions that we pose in the movie, is where does a song come from? And it's, to me, again, it's a magical thing. I mean, John Lennon and Paul McCartney writing music together, where were those songs before those boys met each other? And where were all the blues songs that came out of a lot of pain, that came out of the southern Delta, et cetera, et cetera? It's about music, and it's about an individual who wrote wonderful songs, and it's an opera of sorts, and each of his songs takes you down an alleyway of a chapter of his life. So I think everybody's got songs in their life that take them back to when they were young, or remind them of somebody that they love, or remind them of somebody they don't love.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. That's what it's all about.
Do you have a song that reminds you of when you were young?
Yeah, you know, I remember being a kid and listening to A Day in the Life, the last song on Sgt. Pepper's, and there's that gigantic piano hold at the end, and there's actually 4 pianos resonating. And I remember listening to it with headphones on and wondering, A, how'd they make it sound that way, and who invented pianos, and how do I learn more about this whole deal?
And the songs will sound more sweeter when those early keys unfold.
What'd you think, Daddy? You liked it?